what influenced your art style?
It was mostly a friend I have in Canada is directing a cartoon called Super Science Friends.
Oh yeah.
And I've been
Wonderful show, by the way.
I've been like a huge fan of them for a couple of years now, and yeah, sometimes we collaborate. Like he voices in Confinement sometimes, and I voice in Super Science Friends in an episode, and their style I really enjoy. It's also good reference for animation because I'm learning from the ground up, whereas they're professionals. So yeah, I followed the similar rules, like the box bodies and the way the running works, and like the way the necks and the head join together, and the hands, how they move, and all that. But yeah, stuff like that, like regular show, just kind of simple, accessible cartoon style.
Mm-hmm.
When you were growing up, what was your favorite cartoons?
Oh boy, like SpongeBob, I guess. Just like nothing notable because I was a kid, so I didn't have taste or anything. It was just whatever was on TV.
What about like anime?
I guess like a couple of Studio Ghibli movies I really enjoyed. There are some anime I really like. I just can't remember them right now. No, I could only think of anime that I didn't like.
Even like recently?
Yeah, I'm trying really hard right now. I love watching anime that I don't like, which is a problem.
Oh no.
It's weird because when especially now, I'm not saying that you guys are much younger than me. I know you probably at most are maybe somewhere less than 10 years younger than I am, but a lot of what I consider to be kind of kids growing up at that particular generation got into anime a lot more than I did because I grew up in the 90s, which anime was still a thing, but it wasn't like a culture thing that had really taken hold. So I'm more into the Western animation than I am into anime. So it's always interesting. I got into like Toonami at like late 90s.
Oh, yeah, Toonami,
I think it was Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. And that was the only anime I think I ever actually watched all the way through. Everything else I just wasn't. Dragon Ball Z was on. I remember that. That's about it.
I feel like Ava was the first big one that really hooked me in. Because it was like, what the fuck? Like, literally none of this could exist in the shit I normally watch. At least on American TV.
Okay, actually, Over the Garden Wall, I really like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I appreciated that later when I was like an older teenager.
Yeah.
Young adult. Yeah, Over the Garden Wall.
That's like a great example of a cartoon amazing using like music extremely well. Like I literally still listen to music to this day.
Oh, I love them.
Adventure Time kind of does it, but I feel like it's not as consistent.
Yeah.
What about like Steven Universe or like more recent shows?
I watched it for a bit and I enjoyed its aesthetic. Well, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it took itself a lot more seriously than I think I enjoyed. I don't know. That's just
I
me.
never got around to watching it, but a lot of people have really sworn by it and that they enjoy it. So
I like Adventure Time more personally, but I like weirder, kind of more out there stuff. It's definitely not as dark.
Steven Universe, is it Steven Universe, right?
Yeah, it's the chubby kid.
Yeah,
with the
it definitely
diamond on his belly.
brings forward it built up a crowd pretty quickly. I feel there's a lot of people who are.
Yeah, it was
quite
super
big fans
popular in
of
the
it.
SCP writing community. I'll tell you that for sure. Like it was constantly talked about.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think it has a lot of really good messages, and I think good role models. I just don't know. I didn't really. It took really long. It went for a lot longer than I think it needed to be, and I don't know. I don't know.
You know, I was just thinking.
I like
the
it, though.
only modern animation that I actually watch is Archer, and yes, I'm one of those people. Rick and Morty.
Oh, I knew it. I knew you had a big brain.
Yeah, I really hate the stigma attached to Rick and Morty because Rick and Morty.
Oh, I know. No, they did it
Because
dirty
like the
to it.
fandom makes
Yeah.
it seem worse than like it's this terrible thing, but it's actually amazing if you're not one of those assholes.
The Szechuan
Yeah.
tragedy.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm gonna just
Yeah.
scream Pickle Rick, jump on the counter, and start letting my Szechuan sauce fly out. They just, I mean, oh man, that's what it is. Like, you have to, if you really like Rick and Morty, you gotta hide away and just gather with the other people, the true fans. We're gonna gatekeep Rick and Morty.
See, I've been a fan of Dan Harmon's stuff since before that. I watched Community all the way through, 6 seasons in a movie. But like,
oh man, I loved his apology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Rick and Morty, but it does have it's such a common approach to sci-fi is like the cynicism, you know, which I like, but I didn't want to do that. It seemed like such an easy decision to do with confinement. But
Hey, so you're watching our clip video. If you liked it, you should check out the full podcast. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Links in the description. We have a bunch of SCP guests that we want to get onto the podcast. So subscribe, stick around, and hopefully we'll see you around. Thanks, guys.